So at this time, I'd like to start with, I am Kelly Herman. I am Director of Opportunity Creation at Newman Smith Architecture. I am currently serving as the past president for this year. I want to turn it over to the presidential level, so you have multiple avenues, and then we'll kind of jump into the presentation. So Jennifer, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. Thanks, Kelly. My name is Jennifer Chambers. I think I have met almost all of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I am the current president for Crew Detroit. In my day job, I'm a partner at Plant Moran. I've been there this is my 20 years. So it's like an anniversary year for me because I've been at Plant Moran for 20 years and been in Crew for 10 years. So it's hitting those decade milestones, but excited that all of you are participating today. Hope you find it valuable, and we appreciate you spending some time.
Lisa?
I was waiting for the introduction. If you don't know me, I demand an introduction. And if you don't know me, now you do. I'm Lisa Robach. I am the president-elect of Crew Detroit, and the most experienced president-elect in Crew Detroit history. My second year going. And I'm just really honored to be on the board, and have had such a great experience being a board member, being a committee leader, and now being the president-elect of this chapter. It's one of the best and the oldest in the Crew Network, and I'm really proud to represent us at as a delegate at our national meetings. Do we call it national? Global meetings?
Global.
I am Director of Business Development for Harley Ellis Devereaux, HED, and being in Crew has definitely helped my confidence in switching, jobs and continuing to grow. And I hope that being on this call today gives you the confidence to take steps forward in leadership within Crew and within your own careers as well. Thanks, Kel.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Kelly, I should probably mention too, I forgot, still not doing this consistently, so I apologize. As Kelly mentioned, I am a representative for Crew Network in the fact that with Lisa, I also serve as one of our chapter's delegates, but I am currently serving on the Crew Network Board of Directors. So if you have questions about Crew Network, and Kelly will talk a little bit about the opportunities there, happy to answer those questions. And Tracy Taylor, who's on the line, she's also involved at Network on a committee level. So you've got different resources there.
And I'm also serving as DEI task force on the Crew Network conversation. So jumping into it, this slide here, this is our strategic plan. This is the foundation of Crew Detroit, whether you are a member or a past president or even a past member of Crew. This is our kind of our guiding principles and our basis of decision as a Crew member and leader within the organization. As a leader within the organization, you really have two responsibilities. Does the initiative that you're undertaking within your committee and represent of Crew Detroit align with the strategic plan? And is it financially responsible? Like, are we spending our reserves and our money appropriately to help elevate Crew Detroit and our members? So those are the two main priorities. We evaluate this every 5 years. It's a selection committee led by the president, typically, or president-elect at that time, depending on the timing of things. And then you select members throughout the organization at large to facilitate the data that gets brought in through surveys out to the membership, asking where do we want to go the next 5 years. You can find this on our website. I also put the links at the top. I can send this out to everyone also, but on our website, you will be able to find the strategic plan along with our updated bylaws that will help also guide the basis of our decisions and how we operate as an organization. So I'm not gonna read this entire thing, but the three main goals are member experience engagement, inclusivity, and industry influence. So all of these entities are guiding, like, yeses to continue to move our organization forward. So as I kind of started off before, like our strategic plan represents from the first time you get accepted to, you know, your 28th year within Crew Detroit Plus. There are multiple levels of leadership within our organization, and they all have various benefits and value to how you want to utilize and enhance your crew membership experience. So as I go through, each slide kind of represents one level of this and what the commitment level is, the roles and responsibilities, and kind of the selection aspects as you go through the organization and the growth projection to a potential leadership position within the organization. So we have member, committee, co-chair, chair, director, and then the executive team. So I'm going to start off with member. I mean, this is your why for joining. Like, why did you join, you know, Crew Detroit? There's a question on your application, and we hope that, you know, it fulfills that need. But at the same sense, it's your opportunity to, you know, seek out that purpose that you joined the organization for. As a member, you have the ability to attend programming events here locally, and globally, you know, attending our network of the network level events, and then having an access to 12,000 other crew members globally for opportunities, bouncing off ideas, and just a level of engagement that is bigger than your world outside. So again, explore Crew Detroit and Crew Network, and then also start to learn our strategic plan. At the committee level, so, you know, one of our biggest pushes for any new member is to join a committee immediately. Like, that is the ultimate, you know, reward that you get, because you immediately get, you know, engulfed into a committee, a mission of value, and then also a network of up to, you know, I think some of our committees range from 5 to like 20 members. So depending on which committee you jump into, you immediately start to build your network instantly. In the committee, we help, our mission is to always align not only with a strategic plan, but also align with a help, learn, meet, because that's where we want to make sure that our value is hitting on one of those touch points, because we know this is a volunteer organization, but you make time for the things that really resonate with you. So help, learn, meet, those are the items that Crew is the foundation and how we grow our network. Again, learn the strategic plan. I've listed out the committees that are available for exploring, interacting, and sharing your expertise in. I would like to point out that we added the diversity, equity, and inclusion just this past year, because it was also part of our strategic plan that was set forth in 2020. And then again, you continue to explore Crew Detroit and Crew Network. And I guarantee, if you're not like Lisa, who just spends all of her time on Crew Network and then becomes, you know, the ultimate Crew Network thought leader in that, like, there is a wormhole that you can get lost in the amount of information, education tools, research, and just connections. It's endless, really, and it continues to evolve and grow. From the committee chair, there's opportunities within each committee. There's, we kind of, you know, I don't have a slide for it, but it's one of the elements that we've started to try to help build a pipeline of leaders is, if you look at the bullet point number 4, is like coach our chairs in training. So these are potential leaders who are not ready for the chair position, or are just interested in what that learning aspect is and time commitment and what, you know, you're in charge of, is identifying those within your committee who will be elevated to multiple layers within the leadership team. So there's opportunities in that aspect. And then that leads you into the chair and co-chair opportunities of leading within a specific committee. Again, you are supporting as a leader in that capacity to help move the initiative of help, learn, meet, support, and also talk about our strategic plan as your committee is forming initiatives and programs and events that help educate, teach, and connect our members with each other in the outside real estate world. And then each committee is kind of set up differently, but you are the ones who lead the committee. You are the ones who delegate tasks, set initiatives, time management, and help motivate the committee to stay engaged and move those items along. You will work closely with the director, which is the next level I'll go into in regards to the board level. But again, continue to explore Crew Network and Crew Detroit with all the resources that are there and available to you. Next level is our director level. This is the board of directors. You are selected based on an application process, which I will get to a later part in the sense of a schedule and what that entails. That application is about roughly 6 to 8 questions, and they change every year, and it's based on your leadership style, what you would like to change within Crew, what do you think works in Crew. It highlights like what committee or what opportunities are available during that year, because we alternate every other year based on the committee level. So there's a level of, experience and then new members. So there's a transfer of knowledge. But this is a 2-year commitment. You would be attending the monthly board meetings, and then along with the committee monthly meetings. You are a representative of Crew Detroit at a very high level. We are attempting to try to transition to more of a strategic board, but elements occur outside of our control, such as COVID. So right now we are currently a working board to help support and motivate our committees to keep moving forward and come up with new ideas to keep being the premier organization within the Detroit area. So you lead through the strategic plan. You are the essence of Help Learn Meet. You are actively cultivating leaders within your pipeline or looking at members within programs who you identify as leaders and help elevate them to the next level. And then you are representation of Crew Detroit at everything that we do and represent. As for the process, like I said, you can self-nominate or someone else can nominate you. That all comes to me, so no one really sees who all gets nominated. That will only be found out later when an application is sent to you. But I strongly suggest if you have, big aspirations and want to be a leader, self-nominate yourself. I think that is a big initiative, and that really shows that you're serious about it. Again, this is an application process that will get submitted to you. You have roughly 3 to 4 weeks to complete it. And then the nominating committee has an opportunity to review. And then there's potentially an interview set up to discuss, allow you to meet, answer any questions, or clarify any statements that you made in your application. And then we explore beyond that. Then I want to get to the executive level, the executive committee. This is just another group of people outside within the board. And the executive committee is the president-elect, president, past president, and treasurer. And this is just an element to make sure that the leadership team of that area is on the same board. We are, making sure that collectively the organization is moving forward in the appropriate direction based on our strategic plan and financial responsibilities that we have to our members. As you can see, I've outlined what kind of term limits each one is, but as president-elect, it is a 3-year commitment because you go president-elect to president and then to past president. Again, you're representing Crew Detroit at everything that we do. You are at multiple ways the face of the organization, just as you much are as the board level, as board directors. You are responsible for the big picture thinking and helping to move and support committees think larger and bigger and make sure that we don't become stagnant in the same, we do it like this every year. We should be always evolving. I think the biggest hurdle that a lot of us kind of struggle with is, we've done it, it was successful, let's just do it again. But I think what makes Crew Detroit so special and so impactful in our region is the fact that we're constantly innovating and thinking of new ways to engage with the commercial real estate industry and our members. As Lisa and Jennifer had mentioned, they are delegates, so they represent Crew Detroit chapter at the network level in terms of voting in structure that encompasses the entire organization, and then also have the opportunity to speak with our regional leaders surrounding us in other chapters and share ideas. So I think it's a great opportunity to connect and meet people at this level. Your network just seems to blossom at this level in regards to the actual connections that you make at the global network level. All four, well, I shouldn't say four. So president-elect and treasurer are also application processes too. The president-elect application it differs from the board and treasurer application just because of the fact that it speaks to a larger strategic thought process and how your leadership style aligns with the mission and values of Crew Detroit. Again, there are about 6 to 8 questions there, and they all differ from year to year, depending on where we are as an organization and where we would like to go. Again, it's a self and peer nomination, and then an application process comes through, and then the nominating committee goes through. We do hold interviews for all president-elects to have an opportunity to come in and meet with the nominating committee and get asked questions, again, clarify responses, and then just have an open and dialogue to meet everyone. As you noticed, well, I guess I missed it on the executive, but the Crew Network bar across the bottom is an opportunity that you can join Crew Network's initiatives and task force and committees at any time. Anytime. It does not matter. You can join Crew Detroit and then jump up to the network level. It's just a foundation to have some understanding of how Crew operates, but at any time there's opportunities to jump on. Tracy is on a committee, I'm on a committee, Jennifer's on the board, and we've had multiple members throughout the years become chairs and co-chairs and committee members at the network level. So it's really exciting to be part of something so much bigger in moving the industry forward for mostly underrepresented professionals that have not been highlighted. So it's really nice to have these multiple layers of opportunities and education and connection. Jennifer and Lisa, did you want to jump in at any point and say anything, or?
Could you talk about the nominating committee?
Yes.
Just so that people on this call know that there's an opportunity to be on that too.
Absolutely. So I'll jump to the 2022 opportunities. I'm really having a hard time saying 22. It just doesn't roll off the tongue real great, and it seems like we've missed a year. But so I've outlined the opportunities that are available at the board level, and that's the bullet points. But underneath there's opportunities within these within these committees to be the chair and co-chair, because those who are elected at the board level get to decide on their chair and co-chair after a vetting process with the executive team, just to make sure that we're not having a lifer as a chair member and not opening up an opportunity for someone else to rise up. That's really the only, verification of everything. But we want to make sure that that collective core team works well together and, highlights their strengths and weaknesses as a holistic team to elevate that committee. So these are the opportunities. So president-elect, treasurer, golf, impact, and professional development are what is available at the board for 2022. I kind of outlined what the term limit is, and then just kind of a quick blurb about what that committee does. But you can always go to our website and look under committees, and there's a paragraph about what that committee is about. But at the same time, you can connect with that board member and ask them what their committee is and they'd be happy to answer that. So to get to Lisa's question, so there is the opportunity to apply for these. If you're not sure about the opportunity, or this is not the round of opportunities that you're looking for, there will be a call for nominations starting first week in June to be on the nominating committee. And the nominating committee is made up of the president-elect, president, past president, 2 past presidents, and then 5 other members at large within the organization. And we try to be as representative of our makeup of our membership. So years of professional experience, years within Cru, different types of jobs, and then also different types of market segments or specialties. So that way we kind of have a well-rounded collective viewpoint into the next leadership group within the organization. I think it's a great opportunity for those who are very interested in a leadership opportunity to get onto the nominating committee, because you see the process, the vetting, the conversations. You also see the opportunity of the president-elect interviews as to what those type of questions could be, what type of leader comes through at the president-elect. I would say that there are multiple different leadership styles. And again, it's all based on what does Cru Detroit need at the moment and where are we going? That's kind of where the conversation leads. And that's how, the main thought is kind of directed to in selecting the various positions. And then you take into account the strategic plan. It's all about the strategic plan in regards to that. So, Lisa, did I answer your question about the nominating committee?
Yeah, I just want everyone to know it's something that you can be a part of if you're selected, if you fit the criteria they're looking for. But I thought it was a super valuable experience, and it just really opened my eyes when I completed my president-elect application. I used, what I learned in that nominating committee and just killed it. Just kidding.
Everybody has a different path to leadership story. And I just want to preference this too. You'll find when we do our breakouts that the board members who volunteer to share their story are going to have various different paths to where they are. It's not just that linear process, at that second slide that I showed you. That was just kind of like more of your journey as a Cru member, not so much like you have to be a member, then a committee, and then chair. Like, that's not how that works whatsoever. And I hope that our chairs share our breakout rooms share their experiences of what their path is, because every path is different. There's copies, there's repeats, there's been told no's, there's been told yeses, like, Lisa being a rock star. So I
think it's important too to mention the eligibility too, Kelly. Associate members aren't eligible to be on the board, but they can be chairs and co-chairs. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
And you can find all that information in our bylaws too. So if you're an associate member right now, you can go into where it says associate and you can see exactly what you're available to submit on.
The bylaws currently say no co-chair, chair, co-chair, director, or executive.
Thank you, Jen.
Sorry.
That's perfect.
I just want to keep but liaisons are a great opportunity.
Right, and chairs and training.
Yep. There's growth paths everywhere. So definitely check out our bylaws. Again, I should have said there's probably 3 things that you should know as a leader, and that's strategic plan, being financially responsible, and knowing our bylaws. Again, being on the board as long, I still don't fully, numbers get confusing. So it's always nice to balance each other. So
you just blame it on that recent revision.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were just thinking of the old one. Associate members are new, so.
So last but not least, here is the schedule that you can expect for our leadership and nomination process. June 1st, there will be an e-blast that is calling for the nominating committee, and that closes June 15th. On June 15th, we're going to call for nominations for the various opportunities that I listed in the slide before. I also want to note that on June 16th, there's going to be a face-to-face path to leadership event that is going to be a hybrid of networking, indoor, outdoor, and then a small presentation on the value of board service and its connection to your career development and growth and the benefits of it. Then you see July 9th, we close nominations, and then you'll receive an email from me with the application in it. It will not state like what you got nominated for or any of that kind of thing. That's your decision to be aware, and you can just say open to anything. The only people that will see like you got called out for something is the president-elect. They will be told that you've been nominated for president-elect. August 2nd, applications are due. And as you can see, August 4th, applications will be bundled and then sent to the nominating committee, in which then we will pick a selected date the week of August 16th, where we can all collectively get together in a safe and healthy environment to share our review of the applications. I also want to make note that all those who apply for an application position, just keep that week. I will try my best to get a date solidified, but stay aware that we would like to have an opportunity to interview you for 10 minutes just to have a conversation with you. And then August 30th, we release the slate to the membership to vote and make sure that the membership is all set with the decisions that the nominating committee was made. But you will find out about your position selection prior to the August 30th conversation. And it's our goal as a nominating committee to also provide feedback to help those who had took the time to fill out an application. You know, we're going to provide feedback to help elevate you and make sure that you are continuously actively, you know, pursuing a leadership position, because there is value in it whatsoever. So don't take no as a door closed, just a window opening up too. So any questions at this time? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. I think we're gonna go into our breakout rooms right now. And then, like I said, I hope our breakout room leaders share their experience, their path, and then the value of serving at the board level or network level in regards, and then answer any of your questions specific to the opportunities or Crew Detroit in general. Hello, welcome back, everyone. I hope your breakout room was successful and your questions were answered and you got a chance to even do a little business also. This event ends at 1. I want to be conscious of your guys' time, so we're not going to do a second breakout room. I do want to open it up. If there was anything that was shared or there was a question that was brought up in your breakout room that you thought would be valuable to share with the greater group, please unmute yourself and go for it.
You may have already stated it, but I didn't hear how to get on the nomination committee.
Yeah, happy to answer that. Great question, Linda. How you get on the nominating committee, again, it's made up of the president-elect, president, past president, 2 past presidents, and then 5 other additional members at large within the membership group. How you get on it, or how do you like throw your name in the hat, is
Right.
there will be a call for nominations that an e-blast will go out June 1st until June 15th. And all you do is you submit your name. You just send an email to me to let me know that you're interested. And then I gather all the names and do kind of a vetting process with Lisa and Jennifer to have outside viewpoints to make sure that we're aligning and representing the entire collection of the organization based on years of experience professionally, years of experience in crew, your role and responsibility as your, what your job pertains, and then kind of the profession that you represent, because we are broken up into practically 32 different specialties that represent the commercial real estate collectively.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Or does anyone want to share their path to leadership story?
I wanted to provide some advice to anyone who's sitting on a committee right now. I think if you're interested, if you like the committee you're on and you want to explore leadership, definitely reach out to your board liaison and just say, I attended this event. I think it was great. It spoke to me. I'm interested in continuing on this chapter. I want to, express your interest in being a chair or co-chair. If you're already a chair or co-chair and you have your sights set on a board position, the advice I gave my group is just to continue to try to bring on members to your committee and help grow that committee so that when you leave, maybe if you're elevated to the board position, then you have a strong committee behind you. So just try to teach everyone what you've learned and just really make sure that you're involved and in your committee as much as possible.
And to kind of piggyback on what Lisa said, like, you could have spent the majority of your crew career on a committee and then go for a board position in the hopes of leading that committee. The nominating committee might have different plans for you. So it's great to have a plan for that legacy that you have for that committee, but you might be placed because there's a strength in a leadership style that the nominating committee sees in you to elevate another committee or to help innovate it to, bring it up to the Crew Detroit standard that we're looking for.
Can I throw in one thing,
Yeah.
Kelly? So another way too, and we talked about chairs and co-chairs, but liaisons, and I didn't mention this in my room, but I found that when you get on a committee, if you aren't a chair or co-chair, but you want to get actively involved, a great way also is to become a liaison to some of those different positions that you need, like sponsorship, communications. Now we have DEI, and it just helps to grow you within the organization, helps to grow you within the different committees, and then helps to give you a little insight on those. And so I found that being liaison also helped me personally on my path because it showed me the different committees and the different facets of the organization. So I strongly recommend, if one of those is available on your committee too, to take a look at that if you're not quite ready for the chair or co-chair.
Great point, Jen. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Any other questions, tidbits?
I thought I'd chime in, Kelly, and just
Yeah.
From a value of leadership and what I personally have been able to get out of the organization. For me, as I mentioned at the beginning, I've spent my career at Plant Moran, and it's wonderful and fulfilling, and it's a great firm to work with. But what Crew gave to me was really the opportunity to step out of that circle that I'm in and really experience the commercial real estate industry in a whole different way, but also have the opportunity to just grow and learn from a whole different group of people than I would have been working with my clients and in, the things that you do in your work life. And so it really help supplement and grow my leadership skills in a completely different way than you get in your professional day-to-day life. And so from a path perspective, as you're looking to grow different elements of your leadership style or your network, or, just different development things that you're looking for, I think this provides a great return on your investment of your time to be able to grow in a way that you might not get ordinarily in kind of your day-to-day professional job.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Jennifer. Any other questions, comments? Okay, with 3 minutes to spare, you can, do something else real quick before you jump on your next Zoom Teams.
Yeah, but
Phone call
please
meetings.
reach out to any of us. We're all here for you as resources, and would love to hear from you more. So
If you don't have my contact information, download the CrewBiz app, and
just the Crew app.
it's
not the Crew
it's
Biz
the Crew app now.
Crew
Yeah, the
app.
Crew app, and it's really great.
Yes, we should make it with the remaining time. We should make a plug for the new Crew Network app. It's just Crew, and is really much improved from the last one. So gives you a good connection to.
And also take a look at the Leadership Summit that's coming up live in person in St. Louis
Or
in
virtual.
June, or virtual. But if you're a traveler and you would like to go,
But just check out Crew Network site. There's a lot of webinars on there that, they have monthly get-togethers, and they're very informative, whether it's based on Crew or commercial real estate industries collectively.
absolutely.
But thank you, everybody. It was great to see everyone.
I will follow up
to
with an
meet everyone.
email to everyone who registered with the presentation, so that way you can also have the schedule and just any info, and then you'll also have my contact information along with all the board emails in there too, so you can reach out to anyone. All right, thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.